Hello, my name is Laurie Rona, and this is my Trends Analysis Report for Course 723, Contemporary Issues in Education. Upon my review of the 43rd Annual Phi Delta Kappa Gallup Poll of the public's attitudes towards the public schools, I have analyzed several trends impacting education and narrowed them down to the three that I feel most impact education today. The trends that I feel bear consideration at this point in time are in the areas of digital learning and technology and preparing students for the future. After the analysis of these two trends, I will examine what I feel is the biggest problem facing education today.
Without a doubt, there is a digital revolution occurring in American classrooms today. The term digital learning refers to learning that takes place over the internet online through the use of the computer. 21st century learners are digital natives who are comfortable using technology to enhance communication through such things as emails, text messaging, and a variety of other social media outlets. Very often, digital learning utilizes Web 2.0 technologies for the simple fact that Web 2.0 tools, such as blogs and wikis, can help to provide authentic learning experiences for students. Digital learning uses innovation to encourage creative thinking, problem solving, and collaboration. It also uses global awareness. Giving students an opportunity to serve on a team project allows them to share ideas and learn from one another. Team projects are the foundation of a successful approach for the 21st century learner. In terms of education, digital learning is about utilizing the power of technology and giving teachers access to powerful tools they can use to more accurately customize education to the special needs of each student. Digital learning is about connecting people and making technology more efficient. Digital learning affects school districts nationwide. Compared to the 0405 school year, online courses have more than 3 times as many students enrolled in them today. In the face of tighter budgets, they are being forced to cut back on essential programs. According to a new survey reported by the National Center for Education Statistics, 3/4 of them plan to enroll and expand their digital offerings over the next 3 years. So how does digital learning and technology affect PA Cyber? In terms of a threat, it could specifically affect PA Cyber as more and more districts will be looking to replicate the online learning model that we currently use. This presents the possibility that we will lose ground in terms of our current competitive advantage that we are enjoying. On the other hand, opportunity may present itself in other ways as districts may turn to us for advice on implementation. Because we've been using it successfully for the past 11 years, there is a possibility that we may seek out our expertise in the field. PA Cyber was founded on digital learning. The curriculum that we use, Lincoln Interactive, is currently one of the nation's premier online curricula. It has received corporate accreditation from the North Central Association Commission on Accreditation and School Improvement. It has also received an endorsement from the Tri-State Area School Study Council. The explosion of digital learning in schools across the nation could significantly impact our curriculum provider, NNDS, which stands for the National Network of Digital Schools. Schools will be looking to incorporate an online multimedia self-paced curriculum will most likely be seeking out a proven leader in the industry. The threat exists for inexperienced districts to fall victim and waste money on unregulated, poor quality courses. The timeline to incorporate digital learning and technology is now, and I expect that this trend will be ongoing over the next 5 years. My recommendation would be for PA Cyber to market itself as a partner in the industry. Our organization should position itself as one that is open to collaboration with other schools as they embark on the world of digital online learning. The advantage of doing this would enable PA Cyber to sell services for a cost that would be more affordable than it would otherwise be for tight budgeted districts to launch programs and invest in training their own staff on how to effectively implement it.
Preparing students for the future. It is the responsibility of schools and educators to adequately prepare students by helping them to hone the types of critical thinking and problem-solving skills that they are going to need in the future. Preparing students for the future involves teaching them in that In most instances, there is more than one correct answer, and equally as important, that there is more than just one way of arriving at a solution to a problem. According to Common Core, there needs to be a comprehensive focus on content knowledge and a wider range of subjects, rather than the current overemphasis on reading and math skills alone. In this category, I found that there is a good deal of overlap between preparing students for the future and my first category that I examined, which was digital learning and technology. Part of preparing students entails making them competitive with their peer students from across the globe. As it stands today, 9 nations currently outperform United States students. Initiatives being brought forth by the federal government are mandating that schools across the country shift their focus.
In regards to how the task of preparing students for the future affects education in general, there clearly needs to be a shift away from the current standards and testing movement, for the simple reason that this is failing our children and taking away from what otherwise would be a better opportunity for a well-rounded education. Additionally, extreme pressure on standards and testing is robbing educators of their creativity and putting them in the unfortunate position of dumbing down the curriculum and teaching to the tests. Studies show that students are motivated and engaged when learning opportunities enrich rather than inhibit their learning experiences. Things such as reciprocal teaching and cooperative learning without the aid of direct input from teachers enable students to have real-life, meaningful experiences that make the learning come alive. Through use of these techniques and others like them, students are able to make meaningful connections with the content that they are learning. It is because of these meaningful connections that learners are able to retain information for a much longer period of time. In these kinds of positive learning, cooperative environments, true learning is taking place rather than rote memorization of facts that students will most likely forget very soon after the test. It is the responsibility of schools to help students to be engaged, accountable, and responsible for their own learning. In terms of a threat, the field of education is being negatively impacted by the trickle-down effect and negative stigma brought on by the standards and testing movement. This negativity is preventing quality candidates from entering the field of education or wanting to become teachers. This is further proof that interest and motivation are keys not only for students but also teachers. Intrinsic motivation is necessary for teachers to consider the art of teaching as a worthwhile and rewarding career. Shifting to a project-based curriculum that embraces worldwide Common Core standards will affect education dramatically. This includes educators who work for PA Cyber. Extensive professional development initiatives will be needed to retrain teachers to embrace an entirely different way of teaching. Teachers will need to be shown case studies and see examples of other teachers putting these methods into practice in their classrooms. How does preparing students for the future affect PA Cyber? Currently, the greatest threat to education at PA Cyber comes from the government mandates regarding No Child Left Behind. If our students do not consistently show improvement on the yearly PSSA standardized tests, we run the risk of having our funding cut significantly. This is especially true if 100% of our students do not achieve the daunting task of scoring proficient or advanced on the PSSA test by the 2014 school year. As it remains, instead of PA Cyber's virtual teachers being free to create creative and engaging classrooms, they are currently bound to mundane standards-based methodologies. The opportunity exists for PA Cyber to create its own future. Most recently, PA Cyber has come to define preparing students for the future as preparing them for as yet largely unknown careers in the fields of science, technology, engineering, and math. In order to have the greatest impact on student achievement, It is necessary for real-life learning experiences to be incorporated into our virtual classroom environment. Plans are currently in place to build and open a STEM school epicenter in time for the 2013-2014 school year. It would utilize a cross-curriculum. Facing education today is the lack of funding and adequate ongoing financial support that will be needed to assist schools with ongoing change initiatives. The effects that PA Cyber will specifically experience will be due to ongoing disparities in the funding model of education throughout the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. The current state of the economy decreases the available tax base because there is in turn less money coming into local school districts. Our current funding model is being challenged by the State Department of Education and could result in further reductions to our budget. How does it affect education in general? It is common knowledge that change costs money. The recent 2011 reconfiguration of Pennsylvania's education budget resulted in some drastic initial cuts. All school districts in the state, including PA Cyber, are being forced to make do with less. It is projected that Pennsylvania's education budget will be even further reduced in 2012. PA Cyber is specifically affected because all 500 school districts currently pay different tuition rates. There is not uniformity across the board. It is based on a funding formula with the percentage of taxes that the district takes in. In the face of their own budget restrictions, the school districts are less apt to forward cyber school payments in a timely fashion. This is detrimental to PA Cyber. The reason that they are not timely with their payments is due in large part to the fact that there is no penalty currently in place for school districts who withhold cyber payments. In terms of a threat to PA Cyber, loss of funding may lead to us losing our competitive edge if we are unable to keep up with new technologies and initiatives, such as the iPad pilot and other programs like it. In the face of these challenges, the opportunity exists for PA Cyber to submit a proposal to the state's Auditor General asking that an equitable funding model be put into place to ensure funding uniformity for all cyber charter school students across the Commonwealth. All schools, including PA Cyber, need to reevaluate their costs and come up with reasonable money-saving solutions that will not negatively impact the service we provide to our students and families. In analyzing and evaluating its operating costs, PA Cyber can plan and prepare for the future by partnering with public and private organizations as well as corporations to help supplement our finances. My recommendation in this problem is to seek not only partnerships with corporations, but also available grant monies. The time to do this is now, as the education budget has weathered the first wave of reductions. Some other ideas for ways in which PA Cyber can save money moving forward is to consider the possibility of closing some of our office buildings. PA Cyber could present employees with the opportunity to share office space and or work from home on a regular basis. Doing this would save costs by eliminating rent monies, building operation costs, utilities, etc. Money then could be reallocated to the students, and important educational programs and services could remain intact. This concludes my trend analysis report for contemporary issues in education.